Hi everyone! Welcome to week 4 of Dancing with the Stars with Tapping Duo. I'm Lisa.
I'm Renee.
And we hope you watched last night's episode and we're ready to review it. Renee, would you like to take the first group?
Sure. Okay, so the first was Nastia and Derek. Last week they got 34 and this week they got a 36. I don't know, I felt absolutely nothing. I watched it and I felt like technically it was visually beautiful. Mm-hmm. Derek did a great job on the choreography. He always does, though. And I thought it fit her because they did an Argentine tango. Uh-huh. And I don't know if it's Argentine or Argentine.
I don't know that that part matters right now.
Well, if any of you know, let us know if it's teen or time. And I thought technically it was beautiful, but I felt absolutely no heart emotion at all when I watched it. What'd you think?
Well, I missed the flicks between the legs, which were such a big deal last week when they were scoring. And I was surprised that Derek didn't do some of the traditional movements that I would have expected. I also didn't feel there was any passion because when I think of Willow last week and her fiercely going across the floor, I didn't have any of that with Nastia or Derek.
Yeah. And the other thing, too, with the parents sitting in the audience, I expected them to be, I mean, she dedicated it to them, and yet they were as stoic as she was. So I guess that's just the world of gymnastics, and I just had to realize that.
Yeah.
Okay, next, actually, where are they? They're right over here.
Oh, that was Nastia and Derek, as you all know, right? Now we have Michael and Peta.
Okay, Michael and Peta did a rumba, or a Roomba. But I think one's like a vacuum cleaner, so we want to make sure we say it right.
True.
And they got a 24 last week and a 30 this week, so they improved.
Now, this was funny for me because I couldn't figure out how he got a 6-point improvement, and I realized when I was watching it that the camera never showed his hips. It was always from the waist up and looking at his face. So the judges saw more than I saw as a viewer.
Oh, that's true. You know, I was thinking about that too, and I was so wrapped up in the fact that it was so emotional. I mean, who leaves their kid because they're gay? I figured we moved so far past that, but hopefully it'll change.
Hopefully with time.
Yeah.
Okay, the next group we had were Riker and Allison. They did a tango, and he scored the same this week as he did last week. Did you feel that there was no improvement?
I thought he led her beautifully. You know, it's really interesting because I've mentioned this before. When the guy is the lead and he's on the show, the girl, professional, still leads them, where the girl is led by the strong guy. So I think it's really hard to be a male on the show, but I thought he did a great job leading Allison. I really did.
Now they were very tightly interlaced, united on their tango, and I think one of the judges thought they were a little too close, that there needed to be a bigger frame.
A little more space between them.
But I thought he did really well, but I might agree with the 2 scores from last week and this week because he did consistently well, but not necessarily a growth well. Would you agree?
Yeah. I would. They look the same.
Yes.
You know, in his passion of what they did.
Yes.
Okay, next we have Robert and Kim. You know, I really do like Robert. There's just something about his sensitivity that it didn't surprise me that he had all that love for his mom. He seems to be a very sensitive man, which I don't know if he is or not. But I think doing the waltz like he did, last week he scored a 29 and this week he scored a 34, and I think it was well deserved. The only thing I've been kind of looking forward to him changing is his jazz hands. I think I mentioned that last week. And so I was noticing that his hands were soft this week. And so, you know, good for you, Robert. It's another thing you had to think about, and I thought you did a great job.
And I really appreciate Kim's choreography because I saw the waltz. In that number, I knew they were doing the waltz. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, right?
Yeah.
So that was nice for me to see as a viewer. Next we have Chris and Whitney, who did a rumba. Did you find any growth in Chris this week?
No, you know, Chris. I don't know. I didn't see him do anything. I mean, I watched it and I was taking notes on everybody, and then I watched his and I didn't have anything to say. I felt like Whitney danced around him and that he just kind of did what he could.
I would agree, and I think they staged it in such a way that there wasn't a great expectation of him moving across the floor, around the floor, because they had put those lights in that diamond pattern,
Yeah.
and I think that kept Chris contained.
Yeah, I would agree. Did we mention what their scores were? I think he got a 28 last week and a 27 this week.
Oh, yes.
So he went down one. So we'll see. All right, Patty and Artem, they did a jazz number. Oh, Patty.
I was going to start with Patty. She had a good time out there.
She did.
Oh, she does every week.
Yeah, she does. She has a huge fan base. I love that people are voting for her. You know, she's getting a little more endurance each week. She attempts to do a little bit more. I'm sure in her head she's afraid of hurting something, her knee, her ankle. She's still in those heels. She got a 22 last week and a 30 this week.
Did you see that kind of improvement, or do you think it was Artem's choreography maybe that brought him up? Because she kept saying, you know, I have more steps in my dance this week. I have more steps.
Well, she did a jazz. Well, first of all, she did the Charleston, right? Okay, so that's something she probably knew when she was younger. Jazz square.
Yes.
You know, she did the jazz square, and she put the chugs back in that she had the week before.
Well, she had done them so well.
But then she freestyled. You know, she boogied to the music, and she knows how to boogie to the music. So that's what I saw. So I appreciated her trying a little bit more for her son. So that was sweet.
And that was a lovely story, too.
Yeah.
Rumor and Val.
Rumor and Val's right here.
All right.
Ta-da.
Here, I'll give you some room.
They did a foxtrot, and they got a 25. They got a 33 last week and a 35 this week. Well deserved.
Was that a foxtrot or a waltz?
It's a waltz. I'm sorry. It was a waltz.
What is the difference between a waltz and a foxtrot?
Timing.
Just
easy way to say it. Different timing, different movements, whole different dance.
You know, when she moves across the floor, she sweeps the floor as she goes. I mean, there's a power in her movement as she glides across the floor. There's no delicacy in it.
Well, as I was watching it last night, I put it on pause. And the guy I live with here, my roommate, Bob, he wanted to know what I had to say about that. And I said, well, you know what? I was very athletic in school. And being an athlete, you feel masculine in your being athletic. One thing I really felt good about when you're an athlete is you feel that power that most men feel. And there's a feel of accomplishment when you're able to do something that feels so good inside. And so the week before I had mentioned with Rumor that that she probably through dance finally felt beautiful. So last week this week when she was talking to the camera, she said that for the first time in her life she felt beautiful. And I told Bob, I said, you know what? I so get that, because when I was doing athletics, you feel masculine and you're, quote, a tomboy. But then when you dance, you feel inside, you feel still as powerful and absolutely beautiful, because it makes you feel feminine and still strong. It doesn't make you lose the strength you have inside of your character. So I appreciated her finding that in herself. And I was looking for that because she's a beautiful dancer. Just a beautiful dancer.
Well, she did improve 2 points. And I thoroughly enjoy watching her each week perform.
Well, any of you ladies or girls out there, that comment I was making for you. Just because you can play racquetball, you can put all that energy into dancing too, and you'll feel 2 different strengths. They're still strong and they're still wonderful. So, okay, moving on.
All right, next we had Suzanne Summers and Tony. She did that tribute to Three's Company and John Ritter, which I thought was cute and fun. I'm not sure. She got a score increase from 25 to 28. I don't remember how much foxtrot I actually saw during the number.
They need to move her out of the 80s. They really do. They need to bring her current and up to date. I think she'd do a lot better. They're really trying to keep her back where her comfort zone is. And I love that she did something for John, though. That was
beautiful.
It was really, yeah, I appreciated that a lot.
Yeah.
25 last week, 28 this week.
Okay. So who?
Willow and Mark. My favorite dance of the night. My favorite.
My favorite as well.
Oh my gosh.
Hands down.
Hands down favorite. Mark, your choreography was brilliant. Working with a prop is very hard. I didn't see any canes drop or any swords drop. I might have missed it, but I was so pleased that they added a prop, and the way they got rid of, I mean, the staging of it was beautiful too. The way every person got killed off and they put their picture in the back, and she didn't just stand over in the corner, Willow. She kept dancing and doing the contemporary dance that she was doing, and Mark choreographed that beautifully for her, to her strength. She was very powerful in it.
She was very emotional. She became the music, and I thought that was wonderful. And she got 3 10s last night, so that has to be very exciting for her.
Oh, no kidding. 32 and going up to 39.
Yeah.
It's just
But wonderful. I thought it was well earned, and that was dancing, you know?
Yes, absolutely.
There's no confusion there.
Okay, our last person is Noah and Sharna.
Sorry, Whitney.
Here we go, Noah and Sharna. Well, what do you have to say about Noah and Sharna?
He's an amazingly strong individual.
They did a contemporary.
They did, and he could lift her with ease and agility that was impressive, to say the least.
And he did go up. He did a 30 last week and a 32 this week.
Yes.
You know, I was thinking when he was down on the floor, because contemporary is a lot of floor and then up, and I was thinking about the fact that I have a hard time getting off the floor with two legs and 2 arms, right? Bless you. Namaste. So I appreciated so much him getting up off the floor. It was beautifully choreographed. It looked effortless, and he lifted her, and again, the balance. You know, he's going to probably stay because of the ability of the strength and his work ethic.
Yes.
You know, it's such an inspiration to all of us not to give up when we have both arms and both legs.
Yes.
But 99% of any sport or any athletic ability or any dance is your confidence. You know, once you get it, the rest of it's just 99% of it is confidence to be able to go out and execute what you already know. So I hope he stays around.
Yeah, I've enjoyed him each week. So the standings at the end of last night's show were Willow 39, Nastia 36, Rumor 35, Riker and Robert were both at 34, Noah had 32, Michael and Patty had 30 points, Suzanne 28, and Chris 27.
You have any predictions?
Well, I'm thinking that Chris is probably the weakest link with the slowest following. However, I know The Bachelor does really well as a TV show. So Chris might be around next week.
Chris and Whitney.
But I don't know that he's had the growth that you would need either in his dancing or his voting. So we'll see.
Well, I'm thinking Suzanne and Tony.
Uh-huh.
Or Patty and Arden.
Uh-huh.
I could be totally wrong. As far as ability, I think Chris should go.
Uh-huh.
I think Patty and Suzanne are about the same. I know they have a huge fan base, though. I'm not sure how big a fan base Chris has.
Right.
You know, he probably pissed off a lot of women when he picked Whitney. I didn't see the show, so I don't know. I know nothing about him. But anyway, we hope to hear your predictions and what you think. And we could be totally, totally wrong for next week. But we do have to say goodbye to somebody.
Yes, unfortunately, Michael was voted home.
Should we
last week
say goodbye?
So thank you for your hard work, and we wish you well. Ready?
Ready? Bum, bum, bum. Another one bites the dust. Bum, bum, bum. Another one bites the dust. And another one bites, and another one bites.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Okay, see you next week.